What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today we are playing a judge game called You Are the Judge. So we're gonna get right into it. I'm going to read this. Oh no, this is too much actually. We're not reading all that. Okay, click the flag. Is certainly not a normal country. Its history in particular is quite dark. There have been numerous coups in the country's past, military juntas, whatever you want to say, have ruled the nation. The people have almost became not going to get into all that reading. But, examine the phone. Examine the computer. Hello, you need to complete a few steps to set up your system. If you're ready, let's continue. Richard Anderson. You select the profile picture. Okay. You select the password. Let's just do it's the most simplest password. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. KGS. Okay. File lawsuit. Transactions. Okay. File lawsuit against a social media post. Okay. That's that. Social. Let's see. Judgerson and okay. Country does a fantastic job in ensuring justice. So what am I supposed to do? I don't know. I'm guessing I gotta just read the mail, I guess? Human trafficking. I have prepared the documents for your upcoming case and left them on the table in the courtroom for you. Additionally, the attorneys are waiting for you in the courtroom for the pre-trial hearing. Information, we are pleased to welcome you to your new duty. The decision you will make hold great importance for our country's legal system. Therefore, we have no doubt that you will make decisions in accordance with our Constitution. Okay, so what am I supposed to do? Kind of confusing. Pre-trial. Okay, there we go. Sure you want to go to pre-trial hearing? Yes. Okay, let's go, baby. Let's go. We're cooking. We're cooking. We're cooking. Cooking. Okay. Let's talk to the plaintiff. My client. Okay, border command aims to secure our country's borders by preventing unauthorized crossing. However, it has been discovered that the defendant who worked at the border post allows undocumented immigrants who had previously arranged with human traffickers to enter the country during his work hours. You will agree that this is extremely serious and significant matter that jeopardizes our country's security. Therefore, we request his trial and imposition of the necessary penalties works under the border command of the post. He is a delegated citizen who is loyal to homeland and understands the importance of his duties and responsibilities. There is no bias for him to engage in any activities outside his job description. We firmly deny the plaintiff's allegations and requests the so the plaintiff's attorney and the client has no objections. Okay, Your Honor, Jeffrey Clark has recently started working at the Border Command and is distant from my client's duty area. Therefore, he is not knowledgeable about the incident. We request that you reject his testimony as a witness. If you agree with this, okay. Wait. Yeah, we're gonna reject that. Now, if y'all think I did something wrong, please let me know. Okay. Swear to God, if this crashes on me, I'm going to have a cow. Because it's fully loaded, but it's stuck. So yeah, okay, we're just gonna wait. So in the meantime, how is y'all's day / night? Okay, please choose a card before proceeding. I choose your relationship with the government increased by 5 points. Okay. The lawsuit begins. Okay, examine the case files. Let's see. Human trafficking case number 1967. Okay, college alleged. Okay, I can't say that. I'm stupid. Okay, sorry. That one of its officers is involved in human trafficking along the border. They claim that during his work hours, he illegally allows undocumented immigrants into the country and profits from it. The accused officer, Bowden Bell, vehemently denies these allegations and does not admit to any connection with human traffickers. Okay. So, plaintiff is the company, witness is Andrew Turner, Jeffrey Clark, defendant Brandon Wilson. Okay, footage. It captures the illegal border cross. Okay, we got evidence. Okay. About the case. No. Okay, yeah. Examine the pre-trial hearing records, which is this? No. I'm guessing this is what it is. Okay, yes. My client, okay, yes, I already read all this, I believe. Yeah, we did. Check the checklist. Oh, the plaintiff was heard? No, okay. The Constitution was examined? No, not yet. Examine the left menu. Left menu. Okay, so these are just quick action buttons, okay. Examine the Constitution. Okay, gotta be patient with this, hold on. Okay, Article 134. An individual or organization commits the crime of human trafficking by transporting people across borders through illegal means or by turning a blind eye to such transports. Don't know what that is. Sorry, I'm stupid. Like I said, of human traffickers are punished according to national and international regulations. The court may sentence the defendant to imprisonment ranging from 3 to 8 years. Alternatively, the court may impose a fine of up to 3. I think that's 3,000 or 3 million, something like that. I'm stupid. I'm sorry. No, that's 3,000. I was right. Okay. Okay. You want to make my decision? Okay. No, I don't want to make my decision. Actually, what's this? Okay. Plaintiff is respectful. He's calm and he's neat. Defendant is respectful, excited, and neat. Okay, so we're gonna just look over this. Okay, so I'm ready. So, hold on. Information. Even if your decision is correct, some people may not like it. Deputy DA's opinion. The testimonies of the witnesses involved in the case may affect the content of the case. So we got the court versus whatever. Okay. Sides and win. Okay. No. I want to say prison because there was evidence of it. There was evidence. So, plaintiff won. Now, I don't think I did really good on that. We're about to find out. Your spouse mentioned that you no longer have time for your family and this situation is negatively affecting the children. What are your thoughts? Work is very, very busy and it will get better soon. You're right, I'll solve this issue. I'll just solve the issue. Let's be reasonable. At least try to be. Okay. Murder case. Excuse me, I burped. My bad. Okay. Let's see what's cooking up. Okay, look at the mail. Murder case. I have prepared the documents for your upcoming case and left them on the table in the courtroom for you. Additionally, the attorneys are waiting for you in the courtroom for the okay, don't care. Not about you. Okay, yeah, I don't want to take too much time of your okay. I don't want to take up too much of your time. So I would like to quickly summarize the outcomes of the recent case. Okay, the case we're going out. Okay, much interest among social media users, so there was no significant reaction or praise that regarded. However, some citizens thought that the case demonstrated our country's okay. Okay, so basically, okay. Let's look down here. Okay, we can just get started. Wait. Crime scene. What? Wait, so was I... Okay, I guess we're going to the crime scene. I don't know. Are you sure you want to go to the crime scene? Yes, I am positive. I don't think a judge is actually allowed to be at a crime scene, though. I don't think that's how it works. But okay, what is this? We got some pills. An investigation conducted by the crime scene team 2. Were found on the ground when the discovered candies. I was gonna say candies. No, I think that's wrong. Never mind. Never mind. So we're examined in the detail by experts. It was determined that they were antidepressants. Okay, that's good. But you could still overdose on them. But anyways, these pills are sold with a description as they are required red. Okay, therefore they can only be obtained with the doctor's recommendation. Occasionally, individuals who use them may experience suicidal thoughts, especially in the early stages. That is very true. Let's see. We got this. Whatever this is, looks like. Okay, at the crime scene, a corpse identified belongs to Miles Peter was discovered within a container. Additionally, a strong odor is present inside the container. The container is a cooled storage unit. Upon a thorough examination of the corpse, it was determined that there are no signs of physical assault. Furthermore, there are instances of frostbite and loss of function in various limbs of the deceased. Okay. So, right now there's no foul play with it. Well, yeah, there's no foul play right now. We will get into that later. Anything new here? Yeah, no, nothing new. Okay, goodbye. Don't care. Crap. We are going to pre-trial. Yes, I'm sure. Be quiet. Don't ask too many questions. Thank you. Family loyalty. Okay, that went up. Okay. Although your spouse may not be entirely pleased with your answer you've given to their question about your work, they'll find the answer significant for now. Okay. One sec. Alright guys, sorry for that. Okay. Defendant goes first this time. My client, Lucan Forrest, is prompt and respected businessman. We acknowledge that there was a heated argument between him and the deceased due to the engine failure experienced during the recent ship voyage. Oh, okay. However, Lucan Foster has not been deceased after that argument. He personally desires a thorough investigation to shed light on this unfortunate incident. However, he denies the murder allegations brought against him. It's a girl, not him, but okay. Besides the point. The body of Miles Peter was discovered inside of a frozen food container during routine inspections at the port. Following a thorough investigation by our prosecution, it has been determined based on witnesses' testimony and examined evidence that the evidence was committed by the CEO of the container's owner company. Therefore, we request the punishment of the defendant. Okay, the defendant has no objections. Yeah, that doesn't really, I don't really think he's guilty because there was no foul play and there were antidepressants. So maybe they had an argument, and maybe the person took the antidepressants and it kicked into the body, and then they had an argument, which then led to the person wanting to commit into that such crime. So then that happened. But then how did the antidepressants go from there? Oh wait, that makes sense now. Okay. Because they took it there and then they went into the container and did their business. Okay, this makes sense. Okay. I'm gonna pick, let's see. Your relationship with your family increased by 5 points. Okay, we don't care. The lawsuit begins. Case files. Okay. During routine inspections, Freeze container was opened, revealed the lifeless body of a man. It was later determined that the deceased man was Miles Peter, an employee of the container's owner company and a ship engineer. The ship experienced a major engine failure in the ocean, and it was learned that this happened due to Miles Peter's failure to checks before sorry guys checks before the ship's departure. Upon hearing about this, the CEO of the company is reported to have engaged in a heated argument and even physical altercations with but there was no foul play. That doesn't make sense, but it does at the same time, but it doesn't. Okay. Defendant witness Robert Taylor, then there's Charles Martinez or whatever, and there's Brian Scott, and then Ronald Hall. Defendant is that person, whatever. Okay. Evidence: CCTV footage. It contains footage of the argument that took place on the ship. Autopsy report explains the cause of death of the victim. Okay, but what's the cause of death? It just says explains the cause of death of the victim. I probably got to look at that, but it explains who the body belongs to. Okay. There is frostbite in many spots of the corpse, 61%. Finding: rugs were found in the stomach of the corpse. Finding 2. I should do that second, but there are crushes on the skull of the corpse. So something isn't adding up. Unless he took the antidepressants, he locked himself into the container. Wow. How does that explain? Okay, because someone opened it and found the body. Okay, so I'm thinking he took antidepressants. They got into an argument. Then he went into the container. He got severely cold. He got frostbite, and then the waves or something crashed his skull into the container. I don't know. description. Since not all employees were on the ship on that day of the incident, the identified of the body could not be clearly determined by police. Based on the statements of people at the scene, it was concluded that the body belongs to, okay, I don't care, we know this, and his brother was invited to identify him. His brother confirmed that the body belongs, okay, we know this. The day of the crime, okay, but still, things still don't make sense. Let's see. Defendant seems tense. Yeah, I see that, cause she's just sitting there calm. He's just looking all over the place. Okay. Article 248. In any person who intentionally causes the death of another person shall be deemed to have committed the offense of homicide. If the crime of murder is considered to be a result of discrimination based on factors such as religion, language, or race, it is punished with a more severe penalty. So basically, if somebody were to discriminate that person, make false accusations, and saying they're black because they did this because they're black or something, they would probably go to jail for that because they're being racist and okay. If the crime of the murder is committed with a sense of brutality, and okay, it starts from 18 years and can be increased up to, okay. Wait, okay, so what if the person who started the argument locked the deceased body in the container, which that could be what it is. So it could be intentional, it could not be. I don't really know. Evidence. Okay, that's just the evidence. That's all we got there. Like, there's nothing more to that. Like, file. We already looked at the file, bro. Okay. History. Criminal record. Oh, I could have looked at this. I'm so stupid. Okay. So, yellow hair, yes. Black eyes, 180. Okay. Arrests and sentencing info. Offense code H465. Oh. Violence? 3 months and 9 days. Okay, so now it leads me to more suspicion that it was him. This was okay. Can I like speak on the thing or like talk? Yeah, talk. Okay. Witness. As the person who opened the how did you experience, okay, in the condition, in what condition and position was facing, okay, you mentioned earlier that okay, so we're gonna do this one first. I don't know how to describe it. It went to the boss's office and brought the medication he requested. He looked extremely tense. I gave him the medication. He left the room. Then opened the container for routine inspections. When I saw him lying on the floor, covered in blood, I was in utter shock. Okay. In what condition and position was Miles Peter's body found inside the container? His body was on the floor inside the frozen food container, and I really feel sick when I remember it. He was covered in blood. Okay. There was also a very strong stench inside the. Oh, okay. He mentions so that kind of I'm doing this in quotes. Kind of susses me out, like he's trying to think of something to, I don't know. Anyways, you mentioned earlier that you brought medication to your boss. Do you know what the medication was for? Of course. Everyone, I mean the entire crew knows this. I'm talking about our boss needs. Okay, so he's acting very sus. Okay, so he says, of course, everyone. No, bruh. Okay, I should have. Oh, dang it. Okay, I didn't even get to read that, to be honest. Okay. Whatever. Let's interview you. What was the argument between and Miles Peter about it was about the engine malfunction and responsibilities, and it was a major mistake. I mean, how can I say this? It was a situation that endangered the crew's safety. Okay, that is very true. What would you say about the seriousness and scare of the argument? Oh, this is a great question. At the time, I was in the boiler room. They were yelling at each other so loudly that I wondered what was going on, and I went upstairs. When I got up there, I saw that both of them were in a very heated argument. I should also add that they were using severe insults against each other. What did you do afterward, and what did you witness? Anything? Did you witness anything? I returned to my post, and honestly, I thought Miles would lose his job after such serious argument with his boss. No one stayed employed. I didn't witness anything. Okay. Let me get talk with you. It has a criminal record. Yes, I already saw that. What was the reason for the argument during the ship's voyage? It was a disagreement over the engine malfunction and the associated responsibilities. Since this situation was extremely serious, threatening the safety of lives, I got angry with him and warned him to be more careful. Okay. You are accused of killing Miles Peter. How do you respond to this accusation? I am in shock and deeply saddened. Okay, you argue with someone about a legitimate issue and then the person dies and you get accused. This must be one of the worst things that could happen to a person. I completely deny the accusations. I would never go so far as to kill someone. The prosecution claims that the medicine you regularly use sometimes causes you to lose control. Is this true? This is a very general question. What does it have to do with the case? I guess it's not true. I mean, sometimes the medication causes me some difficulties, but I but I try not to let it affect those around me. Okay. Plaintiff. Under the circumstances and how was under what circumstances and how was the body Peter's body found? Your Honor, port officials conducted routine inspections of containers on the day of the incident. During one such inspection, Myers Peter's body was discovered inside a container. Since the container was for frozen food, the victim's body was found in that's how he got frostbite, a frozen state. Okay. As the plaintiff, on what grounds do you claim that is the murder suspect? After inspecting the crime scene, the prosecution interviewed individuals who were in vicinity at the time and who knew the victim. In almost all interviews at the name. Okay, Foster. Okay, come up. Okay, he's guilty. I say he's guilty. I heard enough. He's guilty. Okay, so let's look at the law book. Wait a minute. So if the crime of murder is considered to be a result of language, they did use language, it is punished with a more severe penalty. If the murder is committed with a sense of brutality and okay, 18 years and can be increased. Okay, yeah, but what is a more severe penalty? Okay, we're just gonna we heard enough. Listen. Wait, hold on. Dang it, didn't it say like 18 years? We would do like 19 years, I guess, because it was severe. Plaintiff won. Yes. The government is working on a new immigration bill. What are your thoughts on this matter? We can use immigration as a workforce. Immigrants will disrupt our... Okay, no. We can, it's fine. Don't really care about it. Okay, so we're going to stop right there. I hope y'all enjoyed the video. See y'all in the next one. Bye!